Hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. I'm Keasha, and I'm here for not only another episode of Conversations with Keasha, but the final episode of 2022. I am so excited about today's conversation. And really grateful for how wonderful this season of Conversations with Keasha has been. Being able to have wonderful conversations with brilliant humans from all around to have an in-depth chat around a variety of topics, and to be able to share the wisdom and insights that we uncover with you all. So today is another one of those days. So get yourselves on in here. I am welcoming a wonderful guest. She is a brand protection attorney, Briahna Chuvac. Hopefully I got that correct, but she's going to come on in and share her wisdom and perspective on trademarks and how to protect your intellectual property as a creative and a business owner. Hello, everyone. We're going to get started. I'm letting you in. Right. Stay tuned. Stay with us for about 30 minutes to talk all things necessary for you entrepreneurs out there and creatives in terms of when to know. Hey! And it's good to trademark.
Hi, Keasha. How are
wonderful.
you?
How are you doing?
I'm excited. I'm well. Thank
Beautiful
you.
to see
Beautiful
you
to
too.
see you.
Oh my gosh. So I want to tell everybody how we met. We met this year, not too long ago, at a women's networking group, and I just loved her energy. And we had a follow-up conversation, and I let you know about what I do on IG. And thankfully, she said hello. Wow, we have a lot of folks with us already. Hey, everybody. Another cool part about joining us live is that you can ask questions should you have them, and also let us know like what tips you find to be helpful, or what points that you're like, oh my gosh, I feel that, or any kind of input that you have. We love the engagement. So thank you everyone for joining us this morning. So Briana, right? Briana, because sometimes it's an
Yes, Briana.
Briana, please give us a intro of who you are and what you do and why it matters.
Oh, yes, of course. Briahna Chuvac, trademark attorney. I co-own my firm with my law school bestie. She does estate planning, and I focus on trademarks. From Los Angeles, and married, 2 kids, 5-year-old puppy, living the life.
And you know all about that life. Being a woman entrepreneur,
Yes, for sure.
family, being a mom, a wife, a bestie, a leader,
Yes.
someone who helps others with your expertise. Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining me. And I want to jump into it. Hey, Candace. Hey, Cree and Short by Marie. I see y'all. Platinum Fox 6, Miss Sweet D. I love y'all. Let's jump off with the first question. What kinds of things in terms of, so there's service providers and there's people who have products, right? So there's the two differences and offerings that we fall into: services, products. Some of us have both.
Right.
Great. When it comes to trademarking and protection, what would you say would be the first step in deciding when is the right time, or what is right for you to trademark?
So, well, the perfect candidate to trademark is anyone that has created something to do with their business where their clients or customers sees them or what they've created and associates their goods or services with their business, they're the perfect candidate. And on the legal side, a word, a phrase, a symbol, a design that the business owner or a group of business owners created, that they spent time and energy bringing to life, that will identify what they have to offer, and also distinguishes from competitors, that's the trademark candidate. And the best time, ideally, to trademark is prior to launching. I don't want to scare anyone. It's perfectly fine. If someone has already launched, I believe more people trademark after they have launched. But ideally, the best time is before, because once a business and brand is launched and they're not protected, they're at risk of infringement, of someone coming in and taking those ideas for their own. And it happens, and sometimes they get away with it, and it's really unfortunate. But I encourage people, whether they have launched or not launched, to begin the trademark process.
Okay, so I'm going to rephrase or repeat what you said. A word, a phrase, like a tagline. If you have a super cool tagline, or I'll provide myself as an example, striking statements. Like, everybody's like, that's such a great name. I'm like, I know. And to be quite honest, striking statements, I was doing business for a couple of years and decided, hey, you know what? I want to protect this because this is great, and I'm not willing to give it up to anybody else should that be an issue. So let me go ahead and get it protected. So I got that done, and actually this year, because you do have to maintain it like every 7 years or 5 years, just to go back and make sure it's refreshed. So that was one thing I was not aware of. So if you all have had something trademarked, then make sure like every 5 years, I believe, that you go and get that reinstated in some way, so that it's like, it's still yours, because you have to show you are actually doing business using this name. And so, they'll ask for marketing materials or a website or something to show that you're using this name in the name of making money. And then step 2 for me this year, when I went ahead and reinstated that, my name, business name, striking statements, I went ahead and got my phrase, to get noticed, remembered, and paid, marked as well. So, yay for me. But this is just an example of something, you all, I know, Briana, if you put the love, the sweat, the passion, the energy behind creating your thing, and I know y'all are brilliant out there, it is worthwhile to take the time to protect that thing so that nobody can come in and be like, maybe you find out they're using it in some capacity that's very similar to yours. And it could get into a legal thing if you haven't already had yours established to say, this is my mark. I was the first one to claim it, kind of situation. So it goes for the phrases, logos, symbols, designs. So keep that in mind.
And sometimes even scents and sounds. Harley Davidson tried to trademark the sound of their motorcycle. It didn't go through, but they tried. Some will try to, if they feel that a certain smell or sound is associated with their goods or services, they can go for the trademark, and some are successful. And you're absolutely correct. If we really think about it, we spend time and money hiring the photographers, going to the photo session, getting our hair done, makeup done, hiring the graphic designer, the web designer, all to create that brand, which is our baby. We should have, and we do have the right to protect that. How dare anybody come in and try to take it? Oh, but they do try, and people do. So we should definitely take those steps to protect what we created.
What would be the steps to do that? What would be for somebody who's like, okay, this has been on my mind, listening right now, maybe I should go ahead and take some action toward doing that. What would be like step 1, 2, 3 to start with that process of trademarking your thing?
Well, there's three options a business owner can take in embarking on the trademark process. They can decide how they want to do it. They can decide, okay, they want to try and do it theirself. They could go through a self-help online agency, or hire an attorney, which of course is what I recommend, hiring an attorney, because we know what the process is and it is more extensive than the self-help or online help. And then it's more work than it seems to be. It's a lot to take in for someone to try to do it on their own. Now that's people have, and they're successful, and some have gone through the other platforms and they're fine. But if someone wants that relationship, if they want to have access to who is working on their baby to help protect it, I would say 100% go with an attorney. Speak to an attorney of your choosing, a trademark, intellectual property attorney. Have that consultation. Learn what the process is and invest in it. It is an investment. But on Black Friday, I learned that billions of dollars was spent on what? Things that are not going to be used in a few months or at all. Cyber Monday, another billions of dollars. Okay, well, let's put that money toward investing in our legacy, into our business. Also, with branding, with having businesses, protecting these businesses, it increases the value of our business. So if at any point someone wants to sell their business and they have their trademark, interested buyers are willing to pay more because they know, okay, well, we know that it's trademarked, it's already protected. This brand that we're interested in is not infringing on another. And if we find there are infringers, we will have the power to enforce our rights on any infringers. And then you can also include your business in your estate plan. Trademarking transitions the business as from a liability to an asset. And then you include that into your estate plan that you can leave for your children or charity or pet, whomever someone wants, as their beneficiaries. And so let's invest in building our wealth, leaving our legacy, and trademarking our businesses is part of that.
All right, so you spoke to a couple things near and dear to my heart. Because I was literally just thinking about this earlier this week, about the reason, what's most important for why. You think about the why. Why are we doing this? Why is this business, this solution, this creative thing important? Why are we doing it? There has to be a bigger why, right? For why we're putting ourselves out here in this way, to be seen, to attract folks, to make a difference, And for me, it is about quality of life and about legacy. Like you mentioned, legacy. And I love what you said. It's like by protecting and actually taking the steps to legitimize with, making it legally protected, it increases the value, it makes it more valuable. So if you do have a plan, or maybe not, but perhaps there might be an opportunity in the future where you have interested investors in your business if you want to sell it at some point, whether it's a part of your plan now or there is a potential, then it is in your best interest to go ahead and get your stuff trademarked. And like in my example I gave already, I did my business name and then I protected the main tagline. I know there are other things like names of specific services or programs that you can trademark. Like you said, sounds. I didn't even think about that. Like sounds, smells, just depending on what it is that you do. Maybe if you're in hair care or essential oils or essential oil perfumes, then that would really be important for you. Even the design of the bottles, what bottles and packaging looks like. I think that would be another thing. Can we talk about the difference? Because this is something, when I was a copywriter, people would get confused sometimes and they would say, oh, you do copyrights? I need to copyright this song, or I need to talk to you because
Mm-hmm.
I need, such and such. And I'm like, oh no, I
Mm-hmm.
actually write the words that motivate and inspire and move people to action. I don't deal
Right.
with the
Yeah.
legalities of it. That's a copy RIGHT. I do the
Mm-hmm.
WRIT. And so people kind of get the
There
copyrights
is a
versus
difference,
copyright.
right?
So can you talk about that? Is there a difference between like a trademark and copyrights, and like what that looks like, if there are differences?
Uh, there are differences.
Okay.
I do not practice copyrights, so
Okay.
I'll tread lightly on this. But the copyright is protecting the wording or the content.
Okay.
So, like in books, if someone has a novel, um, that novel itself, the
Okay.
story is protected. Whereas, or
In
sometimes
songs,
movies
because
get
that's what I know.
copyrighted,
A couple people had said, songs. So it's about the
songs,
word, the words, the
mm-hmm,
story. You say.
the story. Right. So I would think more of like
Okay.
the meat of the product is what's protected when it comes to copywriting or copyrights. With trademarks, it's what is it that we see, and we can immediately identify what we see, hear, or smell with those goods and services. So we can, if we talk about the large brands, we see the Nike symbol. We don't have to read Nike to know that that's Nike. We know it's Nike. I was having a discussion with a talk with someone, and there's a gas station with the same colors. It looks really similar to Krispy Kreme donuts, and immediately she thought Krispy Kreme donuts, and she did a double take, and
Yeah.
she's like, "This is a gas station," but we're not. It's not about the ingredients of the donuts. She just saw the colors and associated it with Krispy Kreme. So trademarking protects what the face of what we create, so that people can see that and know this belongs to striking statements, and it helps distinguish from those
Yeah.
from others.
Okay.
Hope I'm
Yeah,
getting
it's
that
like
across.
the trademark is basically that front-facing thing, and it's our jobs as the creators and the experts in branding and such that help you, because the goal is to have that association. Gosh, how strong is that association where it's the green and the white and red, I believe, with the Krispy Kreme, that it's so powerful, like a check, like the check, the Nike, or the target, the symbol of the bullseye. Like it gets
symbol. Yeah.
ingrained, with enough marketing and presence and fans, customers, that it becomes this like, oh, your brain just immediately recognizes it based on colors and font styles and such, that it's like, oh, that is associated with this brand, this company, this person, kind of thing. Yeah, and that's
Right.
what we.
Right. And even just with what you said, the target symbol, look how strong that branding is. It's really the bullseye. That's what we grew up knowing, the circle, the red and the circle. But their branding is so strong, we do think Target, the Target logo. We just think Target already, and we're like, oh yeah, the bullseye.
Yeah.
But that's strong branding right there. And we just immediately associated with Target. I'm going in for this one item, and I'm logging out $200 later.
And that's also become a part of its brand. You can't stop in and get out with just one thing. Exactly. Right. So very cool. Okay, so I hope y'all have clarity on that. And as well as the steps to take. There's a few options in terms of you're considering and are ready to trademark. You could do do DIY, like, yeah, go ahead.
So you can do it yourself. You can go through the online platforms or hire an attorney, which of course I recommend hiring an attorney. Have that access to someone who is working on your baby, understand what's going on, and have that legal support for the duration of the application, for the life of the application, from filing to registration. I just am a very big believer in having support, especially when it comes to something so
And on
important
a note
to us.
about that, about working with an attorney, I did go through an attorney to do mine, right? So it's funny because I had a conversation earlier in the year about, oh my gosh, with a different attorney, she came in with my group program to share some information. And I'm like, wow, I was like, wow, when did I do mine initially? And then I'm like, oh, she's like, well, yours is coming up next year to do reinstate. And then my attorney, the attorney group, sent a reminder and they let me know this is coming up. Are you still
Beautiful.
doing it in doing your business? And so I think there's benefit to that. There's multiple benefits for working with an attorney, but you're right. That person, these folks are looking out. They can actually, I guess in the process can find out if it's already in use. And maybe we can get into this too, like if it's in use so that it's like not even worth going for it if somebody else has had it. If it's already registered, sorry, this name or this phrase or design or mark.
Yep.
And then send you the reminder to ensure that you do keep it reinstated. And then you can have opportunities to add more things that you want and know that you have this same person or team of experts that can support you along your journey as you continue to evolve. Did you have anything to say about that? Anything else to add?
Oh, I totally agree. And it's just such a beautiful thing to know that, you have been supported beyond the filing to registration, where you got that reminder, hey, this is coming up, refresh this, let's get it back up and, let's keep it going. That is a benefit of working with an attorney. So it's really ongoing support for as long as, you want. If you're still in business, keep it going. And it's great. Just congratulations on taking that step too, because unfortunately so many people don't. And you made the right moves and you're a great example, especially to your clients. Like, hey, this is something, to think about and to invest in. We're here talking about your brand, working on your brand. Don't let anyone take it. And you're absolutely right. Part of the process is seeing if it is already taken.
That takes research. That takes exploring and research, y'all. So that's another benefit of having somebody support you and help you in doing that, to see if indeed this is already in use somewhere already. Your idea, your logo, your whatever it might be, your catch, your phrase, your tagline.
Yes, and so we will let you know, okay, this is taken. Highly advise you not to move forward with this. Or even sometimes people call and they want to trademark something that's kind of already known. It's okay, well, that's a famous one. That we're not going to go there. We're not going to do that. Let's go back to the drawing board on that and think of something more creative that you thought of, that you made. That's what we're protecting, your intellectual property, what you thought of. And so you can have those really great, that's something I love to do, is having those conversations with my clients where, we can get creative, or if they're telling me their idea and I'm like, well, what do you think of this? It's one of the funnest parts. It's like I get to be somewhat creative with my clients, and I just love, sometimes the reaction is, oh, I like that. Okay, let's try this. Let's try that. And it's the fun part of
creativity.
The
Yes. Creativity, creative self-expression. That's like life force, y'all. That's life force energy there. So I love it that you help your clients, that it's fun to do that. Yeah, come up with something. And so that's the thing. And I don't want to harp too much on like the scary stories, but like, could you share an example of, let's say it's from the side of the business owner who has protected themselves and they've noticed, like, how would they recognize somebody's infringing? And then what are the steps to say, hey, yo, this is protected. Step back. Could you share some of those? Yeah.
Sure. So that's another benefit of working with an attorney, because a lot of offices offer what's called watch services. So if someone applies, so say you already own a trademark, if somebody applies for that same one or something, which the term is confusingly similar, very similar, then your attorney will get the alert, and your attorney can then let you know, hey, this is what's going on. Someone has applied, or they get word, somebody is watching. They're watching a YouTube or to see something on social media. It might not be anyone who has applied, but so whoever owns the trademark has the duty to send that cease and desist letter and enforce their rights on the person who is infringing. But it happens. It happens often, and sometimes people they don't even know. They're not everybody who is actually infringing is doing it intentionally, because what a lot of people do is, oh, this is a great business name. I'm going to go ahead and use it. And they don't even know about trademarking, and they don't know that someone already owns it. So I love examples. There is this YouTuber, she formerly went by Earth Mama Medicine. And I remember when I started following her, I was like, is she part of Earth Mama? Like the baby brand of like soaps and stuff like that. And then as I watched her, I was like, no, she's not. And then a few months ago, she posted and she said that she had received a cease and desist from Earth Mama, that what she was doing was infringing. And she's a YouTuber, so she has reach, but she lives in a small town and just makes little products on her own. But that was enough for them to go ahead and say, no, you are, our mark is protected, and you need to change your name. And she changed her name with a quickness.
Right.
She didn't want to go up against that. But see, and that's a benefit of trademarking too, because especially if a business starts the process prior to launching, they want to see if it's taken or not, because if a company has to rebrand, that is time and money. Changing with the Secretary of State, getting the logo changed, changing the web design, whatever it is that they have to change, the name, bank records, correspondence, everything, all the time and money that can be spent toward growing the business has to go toward rebranding, paying people to do it. Or if it's a solopreneur who does everything, I mean, is rent going to get paid this month? It's a lot. And if they get a cease and desist, and if somebody is really aggressive and wants to go to court, the court fees, attorney's fees, depositions, which are hours long, days long. Does someone really, really want to go through all of that when you can just take the time prior to, or when you think about it, let me go down this road, and all of the benefits of trademarking, I'll focus on that and invest in getting it done so that I know I can rest easy. My marks are protected. I have the right to enforce my ownership on anyone else, and I can pass this down on to my children or my beneficiaries.
Yeah.
That's like the best route.
The way putting it like that, absolutely. It sounds like the best route to go for me too. Yeah. How about y'all? What do y'all think? And so that makes sense why you say it is ideal to do it prior to launch, so then your bases are covered, and then you don't have to worry about any potential for having to backtrack or spend the energy to change. I know folks who have actually had that happen to them, where they had to change their name. They were like, oops, they received that cease. Yeah.
Isn't it painful?
It's painful. So, yeah, so I hope you all took some notes on this. This is some good stuff, important stuff, legacy protection stuff, valuation, right? Increasing the value of your company for the long run kind of information. So, Briana, are there any last words you want to share? The time goes by really fast.
It goes by so fast. Oh my gosh. First, I want to thank you so much for this opportunity. I can talk to you for so long. Our one-on-one we had, I think we blew through an hour in what felt like 15 minutes. It was so great, and it's always great seeing you in person. And to your audience, I just encourage going for that trademark, and be open-minded. Sometimes people think, well, I have to have something tangible, or I'm not a restaurant, or I have to have an apparel line. This is intellectual property. This is, you are protecting what your mind has created, and you have created it into something people can see. So like you touched on, Keasha, sometimes it's a course that people want to protect. It's business name, slogan. I mean, if we're even getting on sites and cents, imagine, and I'm even seeing where real estate firms the real estate firms, there was something else I was going to say. Those are skyrocketing in trademarks. So it can be creative, or what someone would say is not creative. It is. We're all out here. We are in a world now of creativity where, what is fun can make us money, and we can share that with people, and we have that right to protect it. And so I strongly encourage everyone to go get
them, y'all. And how can they learn more about you, my friend, and how they could potentially reach out to you for some more one-to-one guidance and support?
Yes, thank you. So you can visit my Instagram page, Chuvac Carr Law, CHUV as in Victor, ACCARRLAW. Our website is on there. They can book a consultation through there, or if anyone wants to call, 323-793-9204. And let's get it going. This is exciting times. It's all about ownership,
legacy, income, presence, impact. Let's do it.
That's right.
Well, thank you again. I look forward to seeing you again in person soon. And everyone who joined us, thank you so much. I would love to see your thoughts. Y'all can leave a comment. I'm going to post this and share. It'll be on my profile, and I'll actually add you as a collaborator, Briana, so that it can be on your profile as well. So y'all can tune in at any point in time and check out the conversation. Get some good insights. Thank you so much, my dear. And have a beautiful day. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye.